There would be no world today if there was no agricultural practices. And when people try to misconstrue the industry, it makes it look really bad. There are misconceptions throughout the industry, and today I'm hopefully going to help straighten them out. The ag industry is extremely broad. There are industries within the industry, like the rodeo industry, the show industry, like livestock showing, farming, dairies, feed yard, and many more that we could sit here and talk about for hours on end. There are things like clothing, food, even your cars that are agricultural based, that if we did not have the industry, we would not have these things. The first thing that I'd like to talk about that is misunderstood throughout the industry is rodeos. You see it all the time on social media about how rodeos are bad, how they treat the animals are bad. But if you're not involved and you don't actually go behind the scenes and actually see what is happening, then yes, you can get these misconstrued thoughts. One thing is that can be misunderstood is that people think that the animals are scared into doing these things, like the broncs, like they're scared into bucking, and so like the bulls are scared into bucking, and that the harness that they have around them, that rope, people think that it hurts them. Well, in all honesty, the rope is a tool that lets them know, okay, it's time to go to work, it's time for you to buck. And if anything, it really just kind of tickles them. It really doesn't hurt them at all. They know their job and they actually enjoy it. The next thing that I would like to talk about is the livestock industry, or the show industry, which I'm heavily involved in. I've been involved in the industry since I was 8 years old. There are many benefits when it comes to the livestock industry, especially for our youth, in teaching responsibility and social skills. Tom Devine, who is an ag agent out of McDowell County, said that showing livestock exposes the youth to diversity, cultures, and exposes them to different cities and countries, since we're just not showing in the US, we show in different countries like Colombia and Asia and other countries like that. Next, I would like to talk about the dairies, which are really misunderstood, and animal welfare groups love to target dairy farms. They love to talk about how inhumane it is to the animals, which it's really not. I mean, there are bad people anywhere you go, but most of the time, all is good. One thing that you may not know is that dairy farms are actually very good for the economy. Lisa Minton, who wrote an article for the Texas Comptroller, said that the IDFA established the Texas dairy industry, which generates $12.7 billion in total wages for 253,000 jobs in just Texas, not counting the rest of the US. That's a lot of jobs, and that's a lot of money, and that's really, really good for the economy. Next, I want to talk about the ag industry as a whole. We've talked about some individual groups, individual industries. Now I want to be able to talk about it as just a whole industry. So much goes into the industry, and it is very important. There are so many moving parts. There are so many things we need from the industry that I don't think some people understand that we need. Like, we would not have the clothes that we have, we would not have the shoes, we would not be able to drive anywhere if it wasn't for the ag industry. There are so many different types of farming and production companies throughout agriculture that we need. According to Maryville University, we need agricultural industry to sustain life. We need it to provide food, the food to survive, as well as we need it to provide it, as well as it provides raw material and contributes to the global supply chain and to economic development. Like I said over this whole speech, there are many important industries: the rodeo industry, the livestock industry, farming, production, feed yards, dairies, many more that we could talk about. But there are many misconceptions when it comes to those industries and the good that they do. I think we need to, as a society, we need to educate ourselves just a little bit more so we can be a little bit more understanding of the industry and what it does for us. Because if we did not have it, we would not have the things like the electronics. Again, clothing. We'd all be walking around without clothes on. We cannot live without the ag industry. Ag is around us everywhere we look, and I hope we can now be more educated and just read up or go visit more farms or plants or production sites, just so we can educate ourselves just a little bit more and not make these misconstrued thoughts. So hopefully now we as a society can have a better understanding of the agricultural industry and what it does for us.